Is it just me? Are we seeing more kid influencers? The role of Generation Alpha and how a lot of these kids are being put in front of the camera more and more. And what are the psychological effects of all this camera time? We gonna have to get into it. Now, I am Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I like to review, recap, and talk about things related to pop culture, mental health. So make sure you hit that notification bell, you subscribe to the channel, because you never want to miss a thing. Now, we've been seeing more and more of influencing from children. You know, the influencing game from an adult is growing, but there's a lot of things happening over here with Generation Alpha, the next group of influencers being children. You're seeing more and more kids in front of the camera, their parents, some of them using them for money, influence. And I think we have to talk more about the mental health and psychological aspects and what are we really doing with our children in front of the camera. And so looking at, I see kids, children, preteens, in Sephora, I see them in Ulta Beauty, and you see younger kids now at birth, okay? Because mommy influencers are a hot ticket. People who become influencers as an adult, and then when it comes to this chapter of now having a child, that's where a lot of money is. So you see your different influencers, you might follow them as just regular folk, and they get pregnant. And a lot of them get pregnant again and again and again. Some of these people, their whole channel, their whole lifestyle is that they have 8 kids back to back to back. And to me, they become addicted to the money, the attention, at the cost of what? I feel like at the cost of their kids' privacy, their kids growing up and thinking the camera is always in their face. I'm seeing more and more of these children who are now adults on TikTok telling their stories about how they hated filming, they never liked it, and how it really took away from their childhood. Because in a way, they're working, right? They're making money. Their parents themselves are a 1099, okay? So as a child, you're already taking on adult responsibilities, okay? Because that check that your mom, your dad, whoever got that camera in front of your face all the time, they're making big dollars, okay? And they need you to get in front of that camera. They need their kids to acquiesce to the photo shoots, the posts, the TikToks, the reels, because those likes, the deals, the products that they get from those things really does influence them to continue. And even myself, my kids have watched family YouTubers testing out toys, going to the grocery store. And I often was wondering, my oldest, when he used to watch those videos, what is it about watching another child play with toys? Open up toys. You got toys in your room you can go play with, but it's something about watching another child, I don't know what it is. Let me know in the comments if you find the same thing happen to your own kids, watching these videos. And they become influenced. And that affects their brains. And that affects them of like, oh, I want that toy. Oh, I want to make a channel. Why can't I stream? Why can't I do this? And so you're seeing more of a push of kids being in the front, the limelight, selling products. And what is that really doing? You see that for some people it's creating a career, because I see parents putting their kids on social media for, say, sports. They're trying to start their kids' sport career very young, so they start an Instagram profile to help them show growth as maybe get scholarships when they get older, things like that. But you're also putting your child in a public eye. And sometimes that comes with negativity, okay? These inappropriate comments, DMs, fake profiles. Some of those fake profiles behind them are men, women who are having some inappropriate thoughts about your child. And I've seen different, interviews and documentaries where kids were in the front of the camera, and the parents said that they try and go in and they filter through all the negativity, through the comments, through the DMs, and how some of those kids become fearful of their safety. They become fearful of, what is this person thinking about me? It affects also your self-esteem. Feeling like you always have to put on a show for people watching. okay? And the parents always said I was doing my best to protect them. And then the interviewer would say, well, how come you just don't stop? And they're like, well, she really likes it. She does. She loves dressing up. She loves when we take photos. A 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, yeah, they like dressing up, but they don't know the difference between suddenly having that camera stop. You think the 2-year-old is gonna remember when they 15 that at 2 years old, I was an influencer, my mom stopped me from being an influencer? No, it makes me think about the psychological aspects of that parent also. And I get for some people, this is the way they make their money. This is the way that they have ownership of their time, because it is a business. This is a way for me to make sure I'm creating generational wealth. But at the cost of what? Okay, even when you look at branding, okay, you're seeing the brands, the Sephoras, the Ulta Beauties, the White Elephants, all those companies also trying to tap into, get ready with me, a 10-year-old. Okay, what outfit should I choose? Link in my LTK for my outfits at 7 years old. Okay, is it appropriate? Okay, because you're putting your child out there and you're making them think this is how you have to act. Already the conditioning. You have to do this because if you don't, we can't pay our bills. Don't you want to go on the trips? Don't you want to continue to go shopping? Okay, don't you like having all these followers? To me, that's a little bit of manipulation, because at 5 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old, a child does not know that they have autonomy. A child does not understand that this is a business, that I can say no. They're already, I think, thinking this, you're my parent, you know what's right. So I'm gonna follow behind you. I'm gonna do what you say, what you tell me to do, okay? But as they grow up, we see this in a lot of people who were child stars, child influencers at a young age, struggling with identity. Who am I? Outside what I've been told, what I've been conditioned to be, okay? You see that with JoJo. I feel like JoJo was a child star, influencer, and I don't know what's going on with JoJo right now. I feel like JoJo is going through some, is it even a quarter life crisis at this point? Trying to figure out who she is. Trying to figure out, who am I? Okay? And you see it happening, unraveling. And growing up in front of the camera, on TV, my whole identity was what you saw on TV. You saw once she got to an age where, I don't want to do this anymore. She chopped off that ponytail. Okay? She, came out as queer. You could tell for a long time she was under the pressure of what everyone else needed her to be. She was parentified like a lot of these kids. She didn't really have her own identity. And so now you see her trying to become, who is JoJo? Who am I? And it's not just her, it's a lot of these child stars who start off as influencers, who start off at a young age being in front of the camera, and how the entertainment industry, the public eye, all of this does something up here. Some of them are able to bounce back. Some of them are able to have healthy relations with themselves, with their parents, with society, such as Keke Palmer is someone I feel like has a healthy relationship at times, okay? Because there's some cracks there, okay? As much as we put her up here on a pedestal, as a therapist, I see some stuff going on up there in her relationships with herself and other people. But because we put her up here, no one wants to talk about those other issues that she's having within herself. But we see how some of them do have good families, good support systems, whereas others who start in front of the camera, we see the mental health, the decline, the interest into substance abuse, all the negative things that come with being in that limelight. And some of them are not able to overcome the mental health aspects of the things that they saw, dealt with, were conditioned at a young age. Because Hollywood, they don't care how old you are. The industry, media, oh, you're 9? Well, come to this party over here with the adults. Come on, it's all good. You saw how it affected Drew Barrymore, all these child stars. And just as a therapist, I'm just like, what are we doing to the next generation? We saw what happened in the 80s, all those child stars, even the 90s. Some of them are no longer here with us because they cannot overcome all of those issues that they went through. And now we're doing it again? Okay, make it make sense. But we live in a very capitalist world. Money is the end all be all. I gotta make that money. I gotta be better than the next person. I gotta showboat. I gotta show my neighbors that my kid is the one. Okay, we doing it over here. I gotta turn on that camera. And what happens when the child decides, I don't want to do this anymore? I'm tired. I just want to be a kid and enjoy my life. Is that an option? Especially after years of us doing these videos, years of us making this money. You've seen different channels. I've seen different ones where, recently a father came out saying that, okay, I'm not going to do any more videos. My kids don't want to do anymore. We've been family vlogging forever, and I'm going to stop. I applaud that guy, because after doing it for so long and you're making so much money, you see the money, he chose his children over the money. And a lot of parents don't do that. They just get caught up in the money. They get caught up in the fame, being invited to those PR parties. Like, follow, subscribe, do all of that stuff that continues to make family vlogging and children being in front of that camera very popular. And I don't think it's really going anywhere. It's only getting worse, okay, with the rise of the next generation. And now those kids are growing up not knowing things outside of social media. All they really know is a camera in their face. All they see are other kids on the internet with a camera in their face. So they grow up thinking this is normal. So the mental health aspects of having these children be in front of the camera is not going to work. And as a parent, I try very hard to monitor my kids on the internet, put parental controls, but at the end of the day, I can only control what I do with my kids. I can't control their friends, the things that they show them. And it does worry me at times because I don't want my child seeing something too soon. Okay, being influenced by even his own friends. He's at that age, that pre-adolescence where a lot of that is coming into place. So as a parent, I'm just very cognizant of allowing my kids to be kids, not having them grow up too fast. But once again, I am only in control of what I can control. I can't control other people. So I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about the rise of kid influencing? Is your kid an influencer? Do you think that we have really focused on the mental health aspects of having these kids be in front of the camera? Or will capitalism continue to win? Of course, make sure you like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, because of course, your girl will get into it. Now make sure you stick around, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.